My alcoholic father's paralysis after fracturing his spine forces my saintly mother to sacrifice her life, leaving me torn about moving out. So, a little backstory. Addiction runs through my family, including me. I was adopted by my uncle on my dad's side of the family at 4 years old because my biological parents were having addiction issues and were forced to give me up by the state. Now, just for identification purposes, I will refer to my biological parents as Julie and Dave and my adopted parents as Ron and Linda. Growing up, my adopted dad Ron struggled with alcoholism throughout my entire childhood. While he wasn't emotionally or physically abusive, he was completely absent emotionally. However, he was a functional alcoholic and managed to maintain a job and put food on the table. But he was terrible to my mother, and my mother is the most magnificent woman on earth. She is kind to a fault. Over the years, I had my own struggles, so I'm not saying I'm a saint. I put her through nearly as much as my dad did. However, the years of neglect finally added up, and they eventually separated, until the accident. Ron had been having some health issues. He found out he had prostate cancer and proceeded to relapse. Sometime later that week, he fell in the bathroom and fractured a vertebra in his spine, leaving him completely paralyzed. Now, we have asked him if he had been drinking when he fell, and he adamantly denies it. Knowing him, I have seen him fall completely sober, but I've also seen him fall completely drunk. I honestly don't know if he was drunk or not when it happened, as it could have gone either way, but my instinct tells me he was drinking. Fast forward a couple of months. He is in intensive care and had many surgeries. They said he could recover a lot of his motor functions since he didn't completely break his neck, but it would take a lot of work. Through this, my mother decided to support him, eventually having to go on to Title 19, which means basically all her assets are owned by the government. Ron is on a fixed income, and while he has made a lot of progress physically, he can move his arms and legs, he still needs a wheelchair and 24/7 care. I do not believe that he will progress any further, as it has been nearly 3 years, and this is his peak performance. I live at home with my mom and dad to help support my mother. However, it has been weighing on me that now my mother will most likely have to work for the rest of her life to support and take care of him. His family does not talk to him anymore because they cannot fathom how much he put my mother through, and it makes me feel as though I cannot move out, because then I will leave my mother all alone with only the home aides who come during the week.